Alright, so back from a little bit of a break because hopefully we're getting a patch probably like this week on Friday tomorrow or next week, just because of this little triangle that Bucky sent in the announcement channels in the Discord server. So hopefully a patch very soon, which I guess is going to be those ultra kill weapons that we were going to get. But I mostly just wanted to go in and fight Bjorn for the first time in a while, see if everything is still clicking. Got this Ghangler Ignis that I finished up just before I took the break, and I haven't really used it for anything yet, so we're going to try it out. We got the Wind Edge passed down from a parent. Flame Funnel just really good against Bjorn. Airblade also just really good against everything. Could have been tempting to use a fire skill here with Wind Edge and doing all the root with fire combos and stuff like that, but Airblade just seems to beat those combos out anyway. So just using Airblade and then something super effective and Wind Edge seems to be the way to go. A little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And then Gangler against, or Gangler Ignis specifically against Bjorn, should be pretty fine, because usually when you bring a fire pal against Bjorn, they get Hydro Laser, there's Wall Splash, Normal Splash, a couple of skills that just kill the fire pals. With this water element here, it should be decent. Like, it won't take that super effective damage. A bit of a counter combo here, like if a pal is burning or if they're soaked, they reduce the damage from the other element. So it's not like water electric, which is a great combo. But again, you get the resistance instead, so pretty decent. And then opted to go for Vampiric, which is just like, if you're not trying to do any sort of speed running or stuff, Vampiric is just better than Musclehead, just because you don't need to babysit the pal in the same way. But otherwise, like if you're using Terra Prisma, just high DPS weapons, you usually take aggro, and that's not an issue at all. So Gangler stats, like first, pretty small hitbox, should be pretty fine. If you use something like German-Ted Ignis, Phalaris, they tend to just get wall splashed to death. Hopefully it works out with this Gangler Ignis instead. High attack stat, not that great bulk, but bulk doesn't really matter that much once you get past like a certain stage. Like against Xenoloord, you want to survive the Meteor Rain, so not all pals get wiped at the same time. Against Bjorn, you just need them to survive that initial burst with all the NPCs. If they do survive that, you usually manage to take aggro as the player for the majority of the fight, if you are dealing any sort of damage. And then the pal will slowly heal back up, so any sort of random Hydro Laser or anything that hits them should be fine. For the player, I've been like, it's only been 2 months or something and since I fought Bjorn, but I've already forgotten like what my usual setup was. I think I'm gonna run these accessories, just attack pendants for my weapons. Could have done more for Gangler, but probably since I am running these Gobfins instead, the attack pendants will be fine. They don't stack very well, but what you gonna do? The defense pendant doesn't seem really necessary. Resistance rings doesn't seem super necessary either, once you do have this like legendary armor gear. So opting not to use the Terra Prisma and like the energy shotgun or anything that uses Coralum really, or these Terra Prismas, just because for Terra Prisma the sound gets pretty annoying, and also the repair bill, and also just farming Coralum is not that fun. So I'm going pretty old school, using the plasma cannon and mostly the multi-guided missile launcher, just because it's pretty chill when fighting Bjorn to not be having to like slow down and aim. Been using them since around Fabric, so we'll just jump into it now. Been talking for quite a while. We're gonna go in and just see how the start of the fight is. So I think what I usually do is start with trying to grab aggro with the multi-guided missile launcher, then swap to the plasma cannon and see if we can finish off the NPCs as soon as possible and see if Gangler can perform. So we'll see. The first challenge is really to not have the pal die in like the first second of the fight, which is why I like to sort of spam the multi-guided as soon as I join. The pal will take one hit. Get these guys stacked up a little bit. If you can get them randomly burning with the flame funnel, that's pretty nice. Sometimes you get this sort of lucky thing where they roll into each other. And this is what I mean with like having Vampiric. If you're running like this, sometimes your pal will tank that Hydro Laser instead. So now the pal has aggro because I haven't really been shooting at Bjorn. So he's gonna have to tank a couple of hits. That seems fine, resisting the ice and not taking super effective damage to the water. The health isn't dropping that much, so still it could have probably gone Musclehead over Vampiric. It is, I think it was like a 16% DPS loss or something, not having that Musclehead on the pal. But I still think the player is dealing so much damage that you just don't want your pal to like get knocked out in the fight. Alright, I do have the shields. I generally don't like rolling to dodge. You'll see me mostly sprint to dodge. Like moving around instead of rolling, just because it interrupts the reload animation. Just slowing down DPS. So if I do have shields, like just 1 HP on the shield is enough to tank anything, then I prefer to just not roll. I don't want to interrupt the reloading. But that's just really a min-max thing. Like, usually, like as I said before, you're not really fighting the timer. You're just trying to survive. So you don't have to do that, really. Okay, Aqua Burst, that changed a little bit recently. Though I talked about that as well. Maybe they changed it back. I haven't actually checked. And running here. This is where it's nice to have 2 multi-guided as well. You can reload like while you're running around and shoot when you have an opening. But that's also just like min-max stuff. You don't need to do all that stuff. Like you can roll as much as you like. You can interrupt your reload. It's mostly like if you want to compare pals, killing Bjorn as fast as possible. That's also why I end up with all these like perfect pals. Now I need the 10 trust, 100 IV, max level, max souls, everything. It's not because you need it for the fight. It's mostly because I wanted to be able to compare the pals' power level. Could have done something like just 100 IV, max level, 2 stars and ignore the rest probably. I'm not sure, it just feels like a safe bet to compare pals. Okay, so that didn't follow me or predict where I was gonna go. Maybe they changed it back. Maybe they did fix it as well. We'll see if like sometimes you get the wall splash, absolute frost, what is else? The normal splash, lightning streak, all those skills have sort of been missing, like appearing up in the air instead. Recently. Or in like the latest patch. Not sure if we've seen. We'll see if he charges up an attack, because I'm not running any of those attacks. Is that gonna hit the wall? No. That's one where you have to interrupt your reloading if you are reloading. There's a couple of skills where you pretty much have to, because they just do so much damage. Like this one you pretty much gotta run. But now I'm max shields again. So now I could potentially just tank a little bit. Like if you're going for a speedrun sort of kill. Okay, I thought that was an attack going under the ground there, but it's just Diamond Rain. But yeah, like as long as you have some shields, your health is a resource, whatever, you can do a lot of like tanking and then recharging back up, especially with the health potions, which I feel are a little bit underrated. So I could tank this now with my shield like that, and then the shield just pops. It will recharge in about 30 seconds or something. And you don't have to like stop attacking. But at the same time, I got like more than half the fight left. So I don't need to do all these tricks to sort of... Oh, is that the first time he uses that in this fight? I think it was. It took around 4 minutes to get used. He usually uses it quite a bit. Is he not using splash? Have we seen the normal splash? Yeah, that's the first one for that one as well. He's got so many attacks, really. I only have 2. If that counts. Alright, that was good work, Gangler. Didn't really get to see you do that much, but I was impressed by the start, I feel. It tanked quite a bit, probably helped with the small hitbox and the resistances. So, overall... Oh, I'm freezing to death now. Can we just send Gangler out, or do I need my shirt? Perfect. Okay, so probably a great option against Bjorn, just by this like initial reaction here. Small hitbox, resisting the correct attacks, like the ones you wanted to resist. It doesn't matter that much if they don't resist the dark attacks. I guess Dark Wisp, but that one is so slow that you can always withdraw. Stone Beat as well, you can withdraw before the stone like goes down. So it's probably one of the better options, just like bulkiness wise. So yeah, pretty good pal. I'd recommend this one against Bjorn and Bastigor, and hopefully we get this, what is it, the Ultra Kill collab weapons and stuff this week or next week, or just sort of any patch really. I'm not sure if the collaboration patch is in the same patch as the winter update. If it's going to be like Tides of Troya, that is the title update. I think during Fave Break we got some stuff like a month or 2 before. I think it was like around the same time that they removed like tossing out pals and the what is it called, the reticle changes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks for watching.